Steel boots stomping, crashing the floor. Two wild Yinzers kicking through the door. Loud like a jag-off at a pins game fight. Brace yourself, this ride ain't polite. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. From the bug with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Rivers collide where the laughs always flow. Black and gold thunder everywhere they go. The madcap kings breaking every mold. With two dumb Yinzers, the stories don't get old. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the show. This is, guys, just 2 days away, 2 days and some hours away from kicking off the NFL football season with the Thursday night game. Guys, we are just five days and about an hour and 10 minutes away from the Steelers kicking it off for the 2025 campaign. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Great to see everybody on the board. Great to see everybody. How you doing today, Michael?
I'm doing great, my friend. I'm just ready to go and do this.
A lot of things going on. I'm just kind of catching what the guys are saying on the board as it's popping up. And, yeah, we definitely will be talking about Mr. Cam here shortly. Some other things. We'll get into Mr. Jalen Warren's contract a little bit more today, Mike, now that we have some detail on that. Also, we have some number changes on the Steelers, and we have a new set of captains, if you will, on the team. I'm going to get into that and a lot more today on the show. Welcome back. Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome back. I'm going to start on the board bright and early, Mike. I don't want to miss out on anything. I know that once people get going, it's tough to keep up with sometimes. So I'm going to try my best, at least for the first 5 minutes, to keep up with it. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Jen. Always great seeing Jen on the board. Good morning, Corey. Corey says, I hope you guys had a great Labor Day. I set a date for my first pod episode for Halloween. That's awesome. Let us know. Let us know what's going on, man. Because we're starting to put more podcasts on our network. So if it gets to that point, you want to do that, we'll definitely talk, man. I can't wait. We'll certainly, I'll be right there listening, my man. I hope it goes well for you, and I can't wait to check it out. Or B says, good morning. See the hey, wah, brothers crying again this morning. Cockhead still isn't sure if he's going to play, but sad everyone is giving him shit. Tortilla, what's up, brother? Always great seeing Tortilla. He says, you might have covered it yesterday, but Arch Manning looked underwhelming yesterday. Just one game, though. RB says, I'm sick of this team being so worried about STs. I get it, somewhat important, but we have more people rostered who offer nothing besides STs by quadrupling that other team. What's STs? Am I missing
special teams?
Special teams. Oh, is that it? Okay. And then also Corey says, I don't think we're going to know much about any quarterback before week 5. RB says, what our D captains show the team is in terms of leadership. Hold out every year, cry, and leave the field when you're tired. That's right on my list. We're going to get into all that. Corey Beaver says, I'm not going to be tacky and plug my channel on your channel. I'll email you when I drop it, and if you're compelled to announce it, that's cool. But this isn't my stage. It's all right, brother. We'll work together. It's going to be fun. Tortilla says that Corey, I agree, and we're going to see quarterbacks no one's heard of jump up the board, but I have been hyping up Manning all summer, so I felt I should acknowledge he had a bad game. Yeah, no, that's fair. We'll get into all that, guys. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to the board. Welcome to the show. Great seeing everybody this morning. We'll start off nice today, guys. Let's start off with there are number changes on the team, so if you're going to be watching Sunday and you're looking for YA Black, he will be wearing a different number, guys, and a handful of other guys. YA Black switches Mike his number 2, number 94, the old legend Chad Brown, who we've had here on the show, wore number 94 about 30 years ago when leading the team to the Super Bowl. Also, Max Harmon switched his number to 84. Andres Pete switched his number to 71. Sezi Automiu switched his number to 93. Trey Sermon to number 37. And finally, Deshaun Jameson switched his number to 38. Same number as Tim Worley, who was on the show about this time, maybe a little bit earlier last year. But those are all the changes in the name, or the numbers, I'm sorry. Moving forward, again, guys, just 5 days and about an hour and 7 minutes until the Steelers kick it off, guys. And, of course, the NFL in just 2 days and some hours. So it's here. We're going to get into some stuff today, good and bad, I think. But I do want to say welcome everybody back to the show. RB says Darnell Washington asked for number 0 again and was once again denied. Give him 0. What a joke. And then RIP Dean Lowry. Guys, so let's do this, Mike. Let's talk about the announced captains, because there is somewhat of a dispute, I guess, some controversy for a couple of these guys, maybe 3/4 of these guys, when you're talking to fans and football fans and Steeler fans alike, Mike. Of course, the captains for the Pittsburgh Steelers were announced yesterday after being with the team for about 3 months. Aaron Rodgers does get the nod. He is the offensive captain. But you know what? At the end of the day, I think it's probably the right decision. But we'll get into that debate in just a moment. On the defensive side of the ball, there are 2 captains once again, TJ Watt and Cam Hayward. And finally, Miles Killebrew. Miles Killebrew getting that captain spot back, as he always does at the special team. So, Mike, I think that we'll start with Mr. Aaron Rodgers. It's nothing out of the ordinary, guys, because over the past few years, Russell Wilson came in and he was the offensive captain. Kenny Pickett was a rookie. He came and he was the offensive captain. Mitch Trubisky was the offensive captain. So at the end of the day, I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining that it's Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, for one, I think is doing a lot more than any of those guys, just simply because he knows what he's doing. He's been around the block. The guy knows the business. And I think, again, he helps a lot of people. And we're going to get into some of the things that he does to help a lot of people here a little bit in the show. But, Mike, he just he's a captain. And I think you're just playing politics if you're not letting him be captain on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, it's, it seems to be cliche around here in Pittsburgh, but, the quarterback is the captain. Like you said, you get going all the way back, even after Ben retired, Kenny gets drafted, boom, he's a captain. Mr. Trubisky, captain, yes. It would not have shocked me. Or would have shocked me if he wasn't named captain, is what I mean to say.
Let's go over to the defensive side of the ball. Now, they're probably the right guys. I mean, 9 times out of 10, these would probably be the captains on any team. But I understand what was being said on the board. I mean, being a captain is the responsibility of everything. It really is. And I remember, seniors in high school putting in the hard work when they didn't really have to, but they were leaders. They were showing the way. And again, I mean, these are grown men, but I think still a lot of things are the same, just on a more grand scale. But that's where some of the debate is. I mean, we got a couple of guys who sits out. One guy who's currently sitting out. One guy, he's currently sitting out. The guy is giving us cryptic hints on his pod. We'll get into that just shortly. But, Mike, yes, Cam Hayward is named one of the captains on the defensive side of the ball. Again, these guys, they come out important times of the game. These guys, They didn't play a snap in preseason. I mean, actually, the list could go on and on if we sit down and try to really figure this out, Mike. But this is going to be the debate here in Pittsburgh. It seems that fans are just kind of what is it about these older players? Is it just the fact that we haven't won a playoff game is why people are getting so frustrated, Mike? Because, again, I think a lot of times, 9 times out of 10, people are okay with this group of captains. But now people are raising their voice a little bit, and they're saying, well, these guys are holding out. These guys are doing this. These guys aren't participating. These guys are on that superstar level. What are they doing to captain this team? And I think that is the debate right here, Mike. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers just being here a few months. But, again, I think that's the right move. Mike, is it the right move to make Cam Hayward and TJ Watt the 2 defensive captains of this team?
No, it does not. Cam whined until he got his 1 penny more than Myles Garrett. Cam complains when he's not in the top 5 on any imaginary arbitrary list made, and is now threatening to hold out. They disappear in the big games. Historically in the big games. And yeah, like the fans, they're starting to see like, hey, maybe it's not all 100% on the coach. Maybe it's someone on these supposed leaders on this team that are not stepping up and being leaders. Like you see this in hockey, like teams will strip, like the coach is like, okay, you're no longer the captain because you were being an ineffective leader. And I don't care if we gave it to you or the players voted for you, you're no longer the captain. Whereas in the NFL, my God, they just give it to, seems like whoever's been there the longest. Like on the board, I think RB said it should have been Jalen Ramsey and Deshaun Elliott for the defense. That's who I think, too. I have no problem with Rodgers and no problem with Miles Killebrew because Miles Killebrew, he's one of the better special teamers in the NFL, and he's a leader of that unit. And Rodgers is already showing he's not just a leader of the offense, but the entire team holding everyone accountable. So yeah, those 2 make sense to me, but the other 2 don't, because I don't see them displaying any leadership qualities on the sideline throughout the game.
You're not wrong. And the thing is, Mike, a lot of people that might have sold into it might have seen the example that Aaron Rodgers has set and everything that he's done, saying, oh, wait a minute, you can actually still go out and be a leader if you're, an older player and you have to get extra breaks and, maybe some of the things that the more veteran players on this team get. Well, he came in and just basically showed that those guys ain't doing anything. If you think about it, Mike, is Cam Hayward doing the things that Aaron Rodgers are doing to lead this team right now? Is Cam Hayward doing anything even remotely close to what Aaron Rodgers is doing? Mike, that is why Aaron Rodgers is a captain only after being on this team for 3 months, and why people are complaining about Cam Hayward being a captain.
And Cam Hayward, the media defenders are out there. Oh, he's there participating in drills, or when he wasn't participating, he was there watching and observing. That's cool, but is he holding the guys accountable the way Aaron Rodgers does? Is he holding them the way accountable?
He's worried about himself.
Yeah, is he holding them accountable the way Joey Porter used to do back in the day? No, that's no.
He's worried about another Mike. He just had contract last year.
Mm-hmm.
This is what he's thinking about right now. This is what your leader, your captain, is thinking about, is trying to get more money out of the fucking team when he just did his contract just last season. It's absolutely ridiculous. And the fact that the guy only plays well in a contract year is also ridiculous. I'm so at the end of my road with Cam Hayward. I really am. Like, we have a lot of things, quotes that he said on his pod we'll get to in just a minute, but let me catch up on the board just a bit. Again, I don't want to get buried, Mike, and I love everything, and all the comments are great on the board as always, and I'm going to try to keep up today. I'm going to go right here. Tortilla says, I don't think the Steelers will give out number 0 until we start running out of numbers. They would probably unretire 1 before giving out 0. At the end of the day, what's the big deal? Give the guy a freaking 0.
That's one of the few things I like about the Steelers, though, is we're not going to have a number 1 anymore. We're not going to have a 0 and a double 0. Everything else, go hog wild.
But who cares?
Go hog wild.
What's the matter? Let's just not have number 98. You know what I mean? It's a 00. It's a number. You can put it on a jersey or, whatever the point. I just don't understand why. I mean, what's the big hold up? We can have 98 numbers, but we can't have.
I don't understand why people get freaked out about what numbers can be issued and not.
Well, because it means a lot to people. These guys are pros. They work hard to get their way there, and they want their number. And I get that. And it's a lot of hard work. And again, you're a very small percentage of people that didn't make it there, and all they want is a number. You won't give. Again,
so a quarterback comes in and says, "Hey, I want number 12." That's my number.
Why not? Aaron Rodgers got number 8, and who cares? Again, Mike, these things don't bother me. At the end of the day, how can you even compare 0 to 12? 12 is worn by a Hall of Famer, and 0 is 0. The guy wants 0. It's a number. How? Again, why is this such a ridiculous thing, Mike? It's like telling people they can't do something that you can't smoke weed. It's something that you could grow in your yard, but you can't smoke it. Just let the guy wear the number. What's the problem? Is it gonna affect your life negatively in any way if he wears number 0? I don't think so. What's the problem here?
No, but I don't know what it is. But this is the one thing I agree with the Steelers on. Normally, I'm all for fun stuff, but 0 and 00. I just don't like the way they look out on the field. 0 and 00. I think it's a me thing. I just don't like the
lucky
way
you
they look.
There's billions of dollars into the NFL. It's such a non thing. I don't understand what's the problem. Just let the guy wear a number.
He's wearing number 87, and he's making.
He's not wearing. He's not wearing number 3 to the 3rd power. He's not wearing number 4/5. He's not wearing a letter. It's a literally actual number.
Darnell should have to wear 4/5 because he's 4/5 of that offensive line,
and it's a number. You can put a 2-digit 0, 00. What there's literally zero problem besides for this team to say no. We don't want you to have number 0.
Hey, I'm German. Don't talk to me about.
There is literally zero reason for them to not do this, but again, I
like that. I like that little button on the segment there. Literally 0 reason. I like it.
What's that?
You said there's literally 0 reason to give him that number, and you're ready to move on. And I'm like, I like the little button on that segment. I like it.
I don't know, but anyway, again, it's such a stupid. Why can't you let the guy wear number 0? I'm not going to do it for 2 hours and talk about it, but again, I got to say, how does it affect your life negatively? As a lot of other things in life, where we tell people they can't do stuff to make their lives happy, but why? Let the guy have the 0 for crying out loud. It's a stupid rule. He wants to wear 0. Let him wear 0. RB says captain should be Rodgers, Ramsey, Elliott, and Boswell. I like Ramsey. I think Ramsey could have been a good captain just because of the way the team's really taken to him. Mm-hmm. They're taking him the way they took to TJ years back when TJ was really the dog. Like he's the dog in the locker room and everybody's down with the dog. Why not, why not let Ramsey be the dog? He seems to be leading people and getting people inspired to play more than TJ does these days. But I'm not going to talk bad about TJ. Tortilla says, got to be an old head to be a captain. I guess that's it. Maybe if you're over 50, you get the captain spots on the team, and that's just what they're going to do with it. Corey says, I don't understand the Nazi-ness over. Exactly. If a dude wants to be number 00, let him have it. Who cares? As long as he has the ball, as long as he balls out. Exactly. It's Nazi shit. RB says, how do you feel about maybe adding the captain patches like everyone else does on this? If everybody else, if it's what's going on around the NFL.
I hate it.
Oh, of course.
It was a hockey thing.
If it was up to Mike, they would have Chinese letters on their jerseys. He doesn't he don't like numbers. He doesn't like captain signs. What do you want it to be, a bare ass pedo?
No, because the captain thing
has nothing on it. Come on,
they stole that.
The guy to ask.
They stole that from hockey. The guys having their, the C and the A, and then all of a sudden the NFL was like, "Oh, we need to make more money. We're going to just add a C to it, so people are going to buy new jerseys."
Believe me, hockey isn't inspiring the NFL to make money.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't. Believe me, the NFL would do just fine without the NFL.
No, they would not.
I can promise.
What would they do? What would they do without the NHL's $5 million a year in annual profit? Nothing, brother.
Exactly. Arby's. No, we just got that one. Corey says, I think captain patches make more sense than Walter Payton patches. That's not even football related. That's off the field stuff. That's just me. I guess I'm right there with you. I have no problem with the captain patches. You know what? I didn't like the Steeler patch on the shoulder when it first came out, but guess what? We'll get used to it if it comes.
Hey, without that Walter Payton patch, Cam would have nothing to show for his NFL career. Okay, so we got to keep that on there.
You're right. Tortilla says, I was going to say we don't even show the C, so I doubt it's anything. Players vote on captains, right? Yeah, the players do vote on the captains. RB says, you really think that the team actually voted or Mike just names them? I've heard. I have a hard time believing guys voted for Kenny or Mitch. I think that's a locker room thing. Guys in locker rooms know the quarterbacks are the captain, and I believe that's probably it. There's a lot of things that traditionally happen in a locker room that just sometimes don't make sense. Maybe making Kenny Pickett the captain or Mitch Trubisky, but again, I'd be hard-pressed to find a team that doesn't have their quarterback as the captain of the team. It's just it's like peanut butter with jelly. They go together very well, and again, it's going to be hard finding a team that doesn't do it. So that's why at the end of the day, Mike Tomlin's vote counts as 35 votes, Tortilla is saying. He follows it up by saying, if we didn't give Cam the captain, he'd cry. Had to go boost his ego. I mean, come on, is he getting on everybody's nerves or what? We'll do him next. We'll get into everything that he's got going on here in a second, Mike. Let's get through these messages. RB says, he's a complete dipshit when he has zero clue that they are stockpiling money for a huge move at some point. Tortilla says, in 100 years, players will be wearing fractions on their jersey, right? Oh, no, yeah. They'll have fractions on their jersey and tutus around their waist in 100 years, I bet. Tortilla says, dude, the first player to wear 100 will be sick. I mean,
that should be Devin Hester for his speed.
I'm sure it's
100.
I'm sure it's going to be Shedeur Sanders. If anybody wears 100 first in this league, Dion will make sure that his son that was had his number retired at college because he did so well. He will more than likely be the first one to also get the number 100. Hey, Kenny, what's up, brother? Always great seeing Kenneth on the board. Kenneth Jones says hi. Hey, guys. Let's see. Tortilla says we will give single digits to all the pros. So maybe if an all pro eventually asks for zero, we'll give it out. I just don't know what it hurts. What's the problem? Jen says, I agree with Mike. Numbers are still a tradition. It is what it is. So all the numbers that's been being worn over the years by Hall of Famers, 88. That means nothing to nobody. They happily give out number 80. I don't know, guys. Kind of a slippery slope. RB says, I mean, Pat brought the guy banging his wife to his wedding as his guest. If that doesn't scream, I have no respect for you, nothing does. And then Corey's saying, no, guys. Let me pull up, Mike, a little bit about Cam Hayward we're going to get to.
Yeah.
Very interesting, especially in the position that he's in, I think. I would think just the guy he is, Mike, he would try to make this not look messy, if you will. But these are a couple of things that was said by Cam on his pod. Cameron Hayward on his pod, they said, Cam, will you be out there? Will you be out there in week one? Get your notepad, everybody, because it's going to be hard to keep up here. Cam was asked if he's going to be ready for week one. He responded, 2 words, we'll see. We'll see. Okay. So then Cam was asked on his pod, any updates on possible contract adjustments before the season starts? Cam responds, nope, nothing to talk about. I don't know. And again, I don't know if I'd expect much more from Cam in this particular situation, being asked these particular questions, but he's certainly not the same Cam that we're used to seeing. He's not the same Cam that, he's kind of fallen into that villain role. And I would have thought that he would have tried to say things to keep it sweet. And I don't know if he's, he's kind of addressing Steeler Nation. I don't know if he's kind of addressing the Steelers. Maybe he's addressing everybody with these answers, these real short answers, and showing his mood and his temper and how he's feeling, Mike. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 words to the 2 most important questions asked to Cam about this upcoming opening game.
Usually Cam Hayward's good to giving you a dissertation on why he should be ranked above Aaron Donald in a certain list for players from this era. But when it comes to his contract, we got 6 words, 7 words, 8 words?
Yeah.
Suddenly the cat has got his tongue. Suddenly the man who can bullshit with the best of them is like derpy when the spotlight's on him. This clams up like Clam always does. This tells me right here, things are not going his way in these negotiations, that the Steelers are holding firm. And like RB said, they're stockpiling money for something. And that could be, hey, might not be now, but later in the season, we're doing well. We need that piece. You can go out and make a big splash at the trade deadline to put us over the top. Or, hey, just carry some of this money over next year and make a big splash in free agency, too. And Cam, you're not a part of this team's future. You're a part of today. Just worry about today, Cam. That's what you need to worry about is today, not next year. Just today to make sure your ass is still on the fucking team the way Wyatt Black's been playing.
Absolutely. They have so many pieces in place. I mean, come on, with the two kids that they do got, Mike, I think that these two kids are going to be the future of this defensive line. No question about that. And Cam is just, he's not part of the big picture anymore. And again, he's trying to scrape. Mike, he just, again, you do all the things, the market resets every year.
Yeah.
So why not just have everybody and just every year come around and work on their call? It's not how it works. Again, he was on his way out the door, heading down to Jacksonville to kick off preseason. And this is when this comes up. Again, Mike, here we are 3 weeks later, getting ready to start the season against the Jets in just 5 days. 5 days in like literally 49 minutes, guys. And we're still dealing with Cam in one-word answers. I do want to say that he was out on the field. He was participating at practice yesterday. If that means anything, I don't know. But he was out there doing some drills. I actually seen footage. I seen Cam, he was actually exerting himself. So whatever this means, Mike, I am not sure. I don't know if I personally think he's going to be in the lineup on Sunday.
Me too.
Just because Cam, I mean, come on, you don't want to not be that guy. So Cam is going to do what he has to do to play, whether it means they get something figured out in the meantime. I just don't think that it was a smart move. I don't think it was a smart move for Cam to take this approach, Mike. I think that maybe he kind of felt that he had it like that. He had the clout like that. He's Cam Hayward. I'm the veteran. I'm the Walter Payton Man of the Year. I've been here for 100 years. I'm this, I'm that. And things were going to get taken care of. Again, I don't think ultimately, at first for me, it was anything against Cam. It was the situation at hand is what I was pissed about. But as Cam continued to go forward and the way he carried himself and with the situation is when he really started to bug me, Mike. And again, you have that one. He had a good season last year. He really did. And listen, if you take his whole 300 years and patch them together, he had a good career. And chances are, I'm looking at his numbers, he's probably going to end up in the Hall of Fame, Mike. But I got to be honest with you, the past 5 years, that Cam Hayward that we drafted from Ohio State, that Cam Hayward that was that player early on, he wasn't that player for about 2.5 years. Last year, he gets his contract. He plays out of his mind. So what do? Do you give in to this guy, hoping that he goes out and plays an equivalently good season? Or do you stand your grounds and say, dude, no, we did this already. We have other fish to worry about in the pond. We can't do this right now with you. And, what do you do as a Steeler if you're calling the shots? Do you want the guy playing? Or does it not matter to you? Again, Mike, pay the guy and he plays. Don't pay him. We're not sure what happens. What do you do?
Yeah, and like the Steelers, their players know, and just about every agent in the NFL knows, the Steelers don't start negotiating until you have like 1 year left on your contract. That's just what they do.
35 seconds after you just finished your last contract.
Exactly. And it's not like someone like you've been on like a minimum contract for all this time. You've put up these great numbers. You sacrificed for the team, and now you're asking for your money. And that a lot of people would have rallied to that. You guy who's made $134 million in your career, and you had a huge contract extension before. Come on now, you know you're not going to get this right here. So, what are you doing here, dude? You know how the Steelers operate. You thought they would bend it for you? Did he all of a sudden say, hey, Omar Khan's spending money on all these guys, bringing in free agents, making these flashy trades? Maybe he's going to break the Steeler mold, and he thought he can do it. Just go in all smiles, and I told you I'm coming for my money. And I think he was shocked that Omar Khan said, no, we signed a contract. We're not doing this. Yeah, and then they turn around and give Jalen Warren a contract. You know that had to piss him off. You know it had to piss him off.
Let me link this together because this is all from his pod. And I got to be honest with you, the pod had a different feel than it usually does, Mike. This is what he says about his brother. Of course, everybody was, his brother says he feels like the scapegoat, blah, blah, blah. I got two things that I do want to read, guys. Here we, you know what? Let me do the other one first.
Yeah.
Let me pull up my other one because I think that this is interesting. And again, it all kind of plays together. So let's check this out. Cam defends brother Connor on his pod. I don't think he gets enough love for the dirty work he does. I know there's a lot made out about he's my brother, but the dude works his ass off, comes to practice. He's a special teams energy bringer, and not many white shirts like him, like we like to call him, have 10 plus tackles a year. We don't value that. I think as a fan base, and I think as a fan base, I just ask that you respect the way the kid works. Stop looking at him as my little brother. Respect how good he is, and go on about your business, Mike. And let me continue into the next article, because it all comes to go together. He says y'all don't respect him for who he is, and how he works. And if you saw the way he cares and saw the way he puts in time to try to get better and answer all those things, I just feel like y'all have done him a disservice in not giving the kid a chance. All I'll say is this: half the people talking can't even line up. That's you know what? That's a real classic move.
Yeah.
That's a real classic move. Turn around and talk about all the people who aren't professional football players and how their opinion means nothing. This kind of goes what I'm talking about, how that goes hand in hand with what the Pittsburgh media generally does. You're not a pro football player, or never have been, so your opinion doesn't count. It's kind of a bullshit thing. But let me continue on. Right here, half people talking about it can't even line up. So I don't want to hear anything more about them. Apparently fans and media can't talk about these guys and what they do and don't do well. But Cam, whenever things are going good for you,
want
and your
praise.
head's big, it's okay. Everybody's allowed, even the people that never played football.
Yeah,
they're allowed to say that you did a good job. They're
Yeah.
allowed to say you did a good job when they can't line up in the NFL. Imagine that. These people have no idea what they're talking about. Interesting, Cam. Finally, he doesn't get enough respect, but I don't think y'all could even do what he's doing. I wish a lot of people would just shut up and let him work. Mike, is this the nail in the coffin for Cam?
I think so.
Because, again, he's not doing anything to kind of protect his name in a sense, and he's kind of attacking. And for two, brother or not, for him to stick his for one, the guy is there because he's your brother. If he wasn't your brother, he wouldn't still be on this team. So for one, it is a kind of a special treatment thing. For two, so nobody that never played pro football can't comment on these guys unless they're doing good, apparently.
Yeah, unless they're doing good.
Mike, what's this say about Cam, and where's this going to lead his legacy?
He's very, very touchy. Like, very touchy. Yeah, I understand you want to go defend your family, your brother. Anyone with family can understand that, but
you're going to offend every single person in this.
You got to do it with reason. Yeah, it's stupid for.
And you know what? We're not the one keeping the money from this jackass.
Yeah.
Why is he addressing the Steeler Nation? Why is he addressing the fans? What's the why are you taking shots at fans because they never lined up in the NFL? What about the team that's not giving you the money, you fucker?
I'm sorry, you're fired up today, and I love it. But yeah, like, Cam is crazy. He's going off the deep end for himself right now. Like, this is the guy that always wants to say like the nice things in the media, be buddy with everyone, buddy with fans. But he saw, like, when he did this initial holdout, like, the only people really on his side were the media that deal with him every day. Like, oh yeah, he deserves it. And a vast majority of the fan base was like, no, you don't. And then, a lot of people are going after his brother, and that's pissing him off too. Like, his brother is like number 2 on the team in special teams tackles.
But Mike, these guys are a dime a dozen because let me tell you something real quick. They're not starters in the NFL. That's why they're special teams specialists. They're not good enough to be starters. As Miles Killebrew's not good enough to be a starting safety. They just kind of give this to you because you're the best, being a second-class player, basically. Yeah. Correct?
Yeah. Exactly. We can replace him easily, and he is listed at the starting fullback, but I'm sure Darnell Washington can line up back there if we need him to. So no, it's just, Cam, dude, keep your mouth shut. Do what, like, you notice no one's bitching about Boswell and his whole contract thing. Why? Kept his mouth shut. Kept his mouth.
That's the difference. One guy's keeping his mouth shut and taking care of business. The other guy is trying to use public influence to get what he wants. And it's bullshit because you're using us, you're using Steeler Nation, and then you're turning around and shitting on everybody.
Yeah.
It don't play.
The hypocrisy of, well, you can blow smoke up my ass, tell me how great I am when I'm playing well, but the minute I play bad or my brother plays bad, no, you're not allowed to talk because you can't do what we can do. But I can observe what you're doing, and I can go, hey, what player A is doing, what player B is doing here. Yeah, player B is 1,000 times better than
Or
player
perhaps
A. This is easy.
everybody in Steeler Nation is a fucking retard except for Cam Hayward, apparently.
And only the people who like Cam Hayward.
Oh yeah. Oh, if you like Cam, then you're okay. You could give your comments, and that's what I'm saying. What a fucking idiot.
I used to like Cam Hayward.
I used to love Cam Hayward.
Yeah. Then after that Jacksonville game, hearing the way he spoke to the media, not taking any personal blame when just about everyone else on that team was taking personal blame, he wanted to blame the whole defense. Like, dude, you can say, hey, I got to play better. I got to inspire the guys around me. He didn't do that. Like everyone else on that team did. And that just like, oh, you're that guy.
Mike, Jalen Warren just signed a contract yesterday. Should he be back tomorrow begging for more money before he could go out on the field? Maybe Jalen Warren should step out. Maybe he should hold out.
For some more money.
Exactly. Why not? Why not? I mean, come on. This is why Cam is crying and making a big scene because I see what I'm saying. How stupid
Jalen Warren. Yeah, if Jalen Warren goes out there and runs for like 1,000 yards, he should go ask for more money.
Contracts should mean nothing. So
we'll see. We'll see if I line up, suit up for game one.
You know what? Now we don't even want you to line up. Now I'm happy with YA Black, and you know what? Let's get that show on the road. Let's get his feet wet, because he's gonna be taking your position. So there you go. Let's go get back onto some of the messages here, Mike. I think I'm gonna go right here. All right, I'm gonna go back to Kenneth. Kenneth says if Cam doesn't play, knowing Harmon is hurt, will deplete the respect I have for him because that's not team first.
Exactly.
And again, look at your offensive captain, Mike. The guy's playing for a fraction of what he should be getting paid. Yeah. He's 42 years old, but the guy is literally playing for pennies, and you know what? And he touches the ball every single play. So I mean, the value of this guy compared to a defensive tackle goes a long way. And he decides, you know what? I'm going to be a captain kind of player. Come in and again, I'm not saying Cam Hayward should get paid for a fraction of what he makes, but just look around you, what goes on and what real leaders are. And you get what. Yeah. All right, let's continue on the messages.
Yeah.
Did you want to?
No, I'm saying just look around the team history, dude, of guys who left money on the table.
Yeah. Big Ben did it his whole career.
Big Ben, Troy, a lot of guys would renegotiate. Brady. Tom Brady. But I would say, like on the Steelers, a lot of guys would renegotiate their contracts to take less money, so they can sign more people and have a better chance of winning.
Cam sure did everything ass backwards. You know what I mean? He worked hard to get people to hate him his whole career. Usually, you come in and people don't like you, and you work hard to get people to like you.
Yeah,
he came in and people liked him, and he worked hard to get people to hate him.
He was like, he wanted to see how far can I push this envelope before there's a tipping point.
Tortilla says Michael Irvin said it best. It's cooler to see your number scoring touchdowns after your team after you retire than to see it in the rafters.
I agree. I think that a very select few should have their jersey retired. Because you get to the point where, like the Yankees, where you have like how many numbers retired? You can't issue them now.
327s on that wall out there.
Yeah, it's kind of like them and the Montreal Canadiens have retired everyone's numbers.
With you. After almost 100 years, we have two numbers. I don't think that this is going to be a problem for us anytime soon.
No,
I mean, we're 92 years into this campaign, and again, we have two numbers retired. I don't think this is an issue anywhere around this football team. This is a fact of them just not wanting to give out number 00. I mean, that's their team. It's their prerogative. It's their rules. They could do what they want. I just, for one, think that it's stupid and think that there's absolutely 00 reasons for this not to be a thing, Mike. But I do.
I think everyone should have the number 69.
There you go. Just like the old video games. Remember, everyone had the same number, like because of the way the graphics were. They were always number 12 or number 00, whatever it was. I do want to say good morning to John. John on the board. What's up, brother? John says 4 days in a wake up. I've been marking everything in my life by this pattern, this system that you use, John. 4 days in a wake up over the past week or so. But I do want to say welcome back, my friend. Always great seeing John from out in Vegas. Corey Beaver says, makes me wonder if they drafted Harmon because of what Cam said after he signed his last contract. So Con said, let's build build up that D line and let Cam walk if he wants to. You know what I mean? Ultimately, I think that's something that sits in the back of your head as you're contemplating these decisions. But at the end of the day, I know that they wanted to build offense and defensive line. That was the plan about 3 years ago. They said, we're gonna be tough. We're gonna be tough guys, and we're gonna build this team from the interior line out and become a physical team. And they've done that in the draft every year since they made that comment. Mike, they haven't took anybody other than an offensive or a defensive lineman first with the draft over the past 3 seasons. So you know what? I'm down with that. But again, I'm sure this is something that plays in the back of their mind as well. Knowing that Cam is aging, Corey, I think that certainly this played a role in deciding on if they really wanted to go after that guy with the talent that Derek Harmon has that early in the draft. Because again, Cam isn't going to be around forever, Mike. It might be even less long than we thought, depending on how things go. Go ahead.
Tomlin did say, I'm seeing 2 reports. Tomlin saying that I'm certainly expecting Cam to play, and then Kaboli, reporting that Tomlin said he will play.
Of course, Kaboli said play.
So Chris Carter said, quoting Tomlin, is saying, I'm certainly expecting Cam to play, and then Kaboli says he will play.
He'll play in like 3 to 5 days.
And then Gary Dulux is saying Tomlin expects Cam to play. So only one guy who was always wrong says he will play. Everyone else who, are doing their jobs correctly. That. Yeah, imagine that.
All right. Corey says, I'm sorry. Jen says, this Cam doesn't want to practice on Wednesdays. So don't freak out if he doesn't practice tomorrow. He doesn't like to practice on Wednesdays. You know what? I hate going to work on Mondays through Thursdays. Can I avoid those days? Tortilla says, we paid Warren without him complaining to the media. He isn't a captain. He doesn't have the best stats, but we paid him and not Cam because we just fucking paid him. You know what? Jalen Warren's acting more like a captain than Cam Hayward. RB says Harmon and Herbig rolled out. Yes, Harmon, who knows, maybe a couple weeks into the season, hopefully just one game. I guess the speculation is it could be as early as one, as many as a couple weeks into the season. And Herbig, he just can't get right, Mike. I don't know.
Herbig I'm seeing questionable, but it's leaning towards his participation, which means out.
You're not going to see either one of these guys. Not this weekend anyway, unfortunately, but I think we're going to be okay, Mike. We did go out and sign. Well, we're signing a visitor we had yesterday. The Steelers hosted former Seattle and Carolina linebacker John Radigan Monday, and the rumors are that we are signing him. So they're going to be filling that linebacker spot, Mike. You know what? Why not?
They did sign him. They moved him to the practice squad.
Why not have 50 linebackers and 50 tight ends and not a wide receiver on the team? I don't know. But anyway, we'll definitely keep an eye on this this Arthur Smith offense, because it's supposed to do great things. And again, we'll see. We got 5 days. It's on. We're on the countdown. He was coming off an injury. He needed to prove himself, and he did. Corey says, you're right, Cam. I don't know shit, but Tomlin does. And where is Connor in the starting line? Yeah. You know what? Being an accelerated to be an exceptional special teamer as Connor is, that's going to end you in retirement, and nobody's going to remember your name. If you don't turn that into a starting position, you were a failure. It doesn't matter if you have 10 tackles a season. How many special teams guys do you ever talk about? You know, every once in a while, Mike, I'll go, oh man, can you remember Fred McAfee? And some people do, and some people don't. And he was a special teamer on the Steelers in the late 90s. And you know why people don't remember him? Because he was nobody. He was a special teamer. He was a good special teamer. He made a lot of tackles. But if you don't do anything, Cam Hayward is going to be remembered as just Cam's little brother. And Cam is forming the legacy for the Hayward name as we speak. So Connor better watch out, because he's going to fall under that shadow one day. And, you're going to talk about the Haywards.
Haywards.
Brothers Hayward. Corey Beaver says, you're right. No, that's next one. Tortilla. Cam just loves throwing gasoline on the fires. You don't shut up trolls and asking them to stop. By asking them to stop, he says, Tortilla says, shit, at this rate, Cam and me are going to play the same amount of snaps this year. Jen says, if Warren balls out, he should ask for the. Damn right he should. He shouldn't leave the stadium. He shouldn't leave MetLife Stadium Friday night or Sunday night until he gets his new contract figured out. cry and lay on the floor, kick your feet, maybe. I'm sure Cam will stick up for you.
Be the only one.
That's what incentives are for. Exactly. They work all this kind of stuff in. This is done between agents and attorneys and a billion-dollar company. It's not anything that.
Yeah, they have they're called escalators, where you hit a certain threshold, money from next year gets kicked into this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why Cam's agent doesn't know?
His agent's probably like, you motherfucker.
I bet
I
Cam.
had negotiated this for you, and you pull this shit on me.
I guarantee Cam. He's one of these guys that he reminds me of somebody that would represent himself. You know, how you get one of these guys. They go to court and they represent themselves, and it's a disaster. That's what this really seems like to me.
While his lawyer's standing there, he'd be like, "No, I got this."
Why isn't his agent telling him to shut the fuck up?
Or his agent was like, "Okay, Cam, see what you can do. I'll take my 10% either way."
I think his agent's probably getting YouTube likes somewhere. He's putting these videos together as a comedy, and people are laughing. Vegas, what's up, brother? Vegas says, what's good? Always great seeing Vegas on the board. I know his schedule is a little bit backwards, so it is great to see him always in the morning and early afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Corey Beavers says, Mark, I said he will play, but I meant he was at a healthy stretch. Yeah, don't take him literally, guys.
Don't take him literally.
That's what he said last
10
week.
10 to 12 days.
When our guys went after him on his podcast, he says, don't take me literally. You can't take that literally, is what I said. He literally said this. He says the Steelers, I'm looking for the Steelers to make a serious wide receiver move in the next 10 to 12 days. And then 2 weeks later, our board goes on his show and asks him, Cam, what's up with these 10 to 12? I'm sorry. Kaboli says, you know what this meathead says? He says, oh, you took that literally? Oh, I didn't know we were just watching you to, what?
Yeah.
I didn't mean that literally, he says. What are we supposed to believe? What are we supposed to, you're the guy. You have resources. You're there.
Mm-hmm.
You tell us it's looking good that we're going to make a move in 10 to 12 days, and then you say you thought you took that literally. What a stupid thing to say. This is what I'm talking about. This is what and people, again, I don't badmouth people because of what we do at all. We do what we do because of what's going on out there. And again, I just think that how stupid.
Stupid.
John says, Vegas, I'm enjoying the cloudy weather. Vegas, are you getting earthquakes out there? Just a question. Just a question. I'm seeing that there was a bunch of earthquakes in Nevada. A lot of times mainstream media don't cover things that are important, and you wouldn't think that there were earthquakes. So I want to know if there's a bunch of earthquakes that just happened in Nevada. Vegas says, John, me too. Much better than 110 plus. You too, Vegas. Are you guys getting earthquakes out there? I heard there was a gang of earthquakes over the past week or so. And anyway, besides the point, Austin, what's up, brother? Austin says, Austin Parovich says, the hypocrisy of Hayward saying, we'll see after how he talked about Rodgers early this season. Shaking my head. Bro, that's what I'm saying. Everything that he's doing is ridiculous. He complained and said that the Rodgers was this, Rodgers was that. Do you really want to be a Steeler? He says, and then he turns around and does this. Mike, I really think he's trying. I don't know if he's trying, but he's putting the nail in the coffin here. And
yeah,
I just surprised me. That's not the player that I thought he was going to be at the end. But
me either. I thought he got his contract. He was happy that he got these contracts and was ready to go. I don't know.
Uncle Cam. Tortilla says, yeah, that meathead does suck. I agree with you, Austin. Vegas says if it happened in 10 days, he would have went nuts saying, see, that's what they do. That is what they do. That is what they do. 10 to 12 days, I swear to God, it's going to happen. If it happens, look at Kaboli the Great. He knows everything. He has all the resources. Oh. And he wasn't. Oh, don't pay attention to that. That was nothing, guys. You took that literal. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't start trouble with these people. I just call it out. That's all. Because I feel like they're ripping people off. People turn to these guys, because they think they know what they're talking about. Truth, what's up? Great seeing you back on the board. Truth says these Hayward brothers always whining about money and respect, not good for the team. Again, especially everything that they were Cam was claiming about Aaron Rodgers early and being a captain and this and that and everything else that's going along. You're 100% right. Right, Truth. Great to have you back on the board. Great to see you. Corey says I fully intend on him asking tomorrow how we went from 10 to 12 days to not interested in signing a wide receiver. Yeah. You're right. You're not wrong, Corey.
Oh, shit.
Vegas says there was one not too long ago, but not too bad. Okay. Well, it seemed like it was more on the eastern side of Nevada from the map I seen, and there was a bunch of those little red markers. Like there was a cluster of these earthquakes. And again, I don't see nothing on the mainstream media, so I was just curious from a few people that live out in Vegas. But it seem like it was more on the eastern side of Nevada. Again, just wondering, just curious. I'm a curious cat sometimes. Vegas says nothing like California, thankfully. Yeah, California always gets it rough out that way. Tortilla says Kaboli was in Vegas or was in Nevada. That's what caused all the tremors. And then, are you a Steeler or not? Yeah, come on, exactly, Austin. You know what? Austin's working really hard to get the game ball today on the board. I can tell.
He is too, man.
I do know yesterday. Aunt Peaches and RB was certainly killing it. They earned the game ball of the show yesterday. Austin's coming on strong today. Corey says Mark Nostradamus Kaboli. I love it. I love it. What does he see? He sees nothing. The guy doesn't see.
He's like Sergeant Schultz. I see nothing.
You hear something funny? It's not Steeler related, but did you guys know that Philly's Tush Push is going to be sponsored by Dude Wipes this year? The product Dude Wipes, like baby wipes for like dudes. This is real. I seen this morning. I was looking up stuff for the show, and Philadelphia's Tush Push is to be sponsored by Dude Wipes. So,
if anyone has seen the movie Idiocracy, just yes, it was telling the future, because this is something that I would see in that movie.
With Dude Wipes.
Dude Wipes sponsoring the Tush Push.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But there you go, guys. Dude Wipes. Wow. Guys, a couple other things. As I said, if you came in a little late today, there are some new numbers on the team. Y.A. Black, number 94. Excuse me, one of my favorite numbers for a Steeler. Again, a legend, Chad Brown, the linebacker from the Super Bowl team 30 years ago, Mike was on the show earlier this year.
Yeah.
Number 94.
Yes,
Y.A. Black is the new number 94, Mike. Also, Max Harleman is number 84. Oster's Pete is number 71. Says Otto Mio is number 93. Trey Sermon is number 37. And Deshaun Jameson is number 38. So if you're looking for any of these guys in the game Sunday, they will have new numbers. Again, a lot of these guys are on the practice squad, but Y.A. Black, my man, is number 94 moving forward, Mike. And again, I would, you know what, people are always talking about with jerseys. I would get a Y.A. Black jersey. I really would. Because he's one of the young guys that I recognize on this team that's going to go such a far way on this team. I really do. I think that he's going to play such a big role, Mike, on this defense moving forward. Because, again, whatever they decide to do in the future, as some of these older guys that we brought in, kind of fall and go away, and they're starting to rebuild the defense. And Y.A. Black is going to be a big part of that. He's going to be what Cam supposedly has been over the past 13 years. I think if everything goes right, again, Y.A. Black, again, number 94, Mike. I love it. I love that number for him.
I liked him in 78, but then when I saw he went with Chad Brown's number, his old Iowa number as well. Like, all right, I'm liking it now. I didn't want him to change 78 because I think that was Dwight White's old number, and he had to fit that personality well right there. But 94 is a good look on him too.
I do want to say this, guys. We do know that Ian Eagle, J.J. Watt, and Evan Washburn. Ian Eagle, J.J. Watt, and Evan Washburn will be the announcers, commentators, and such for the Steelers-Jets game when the two teams line up on Sunday afternoon at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, Mike, for the first game of the year for the Steelers. One more time, Ian Eagle, J.J. Watt, and Evan Washburn.
I don't mind Ian Eagle. I'm not a big fan of the J.J. Watt.
I have no problem with anything. Why do you have a problem? You always got a problem. What's your problem?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
He was such a good player. He's a good guy. There's literally no
because
reason.
now he's gonna be with his brother there and stuff. Oh, I don't know if I can sing my brother's praises. Am I gonna get in trouble? He's gonna say something stupid like that. I just have that feeling.
Yeah,
it's gonna be annoying. No.
But those Peyton Manning brothers aren't annoying every All-Pro game and every game on the. Come on, I would rather listen to Watt, but
I'd rather listen to the Mannings just because I love when Eli pushes Peyton's buttons. Little brother picking
I don't
the
get
big
it.
brother.
I just don't get it. I just don't get Eli. I think that's the thing. I don't get his humor. He's a weird kind of guy.
He's a weird guy.
I like that. I mean, I could appreciate that, but I just don't get him. Like he's making these dumb jokes about Peyton's big forehead, which is actually should be really funny. Coming out of his demented mouth, it just doesn't sound funny to me. I don't get him.
Are you afraid at one point Eli's gonna go have everyone laugh and then go, it'd be real fun, guys. Let's go kill a bunch of kittens. Are you afraid he's that kind of funny?
Right.
Where he borders on line on sociopath. Right. Okay. I can see it.
That was really good, guys. Who wants to see my balls? You know what I mean?
Where's Derpy? He's running to the front.
Yeah. Vegas says their guy cheerleaders are going to show the crowd how to use them too. Oh, these dude wipes.
Dude wipes.
Tortilla says hit the A gap with the dude wipes. Jen says dude wipes. He's from the Browns to the tush push. Come on, man. Mark Malone, brother, what's up? Always great seeing Mark on the board. Mark Malone says he's no paint huffer.
We know that for sure.
You got to get.
You got to get Kaboli some of that good premium shit.
You got to get up pretty early in the morning to outsmart Mark Malone when it comes to paint huffing. Also, Austin says Y.A. Black and Harmon looking guy. I love these two guys. I love them. I think they're going to be such a big part of this team moving forward. Let's just hope that the Derek Harmon injury isn't going to be something. Again, a lot of telltale, that you're seeing with these younger guys for the Steelers over the past 3 or 4 seasons, Mike, going straight to the injury, being out for a season. The Calvin Austins, the Roman Wilsons, go down the list. Troy Fatanu. I don't want that to be the situation with Harmon. Yeah. He's just off on the wrong foot. That's the only thing that concerns me. There's no, there's nothing that points to that. That's as good. That's going to be the career that the guy has. Yeah. But it's the same foot that the other guys came off on, and I don't like the looks of it. But yes, Austin, I agree with you, brother.
And that one right there, I think it was just like that fluke thing. They were two guys just him and the lineman were, finishing up their play, and he just got twisted on the knee. It happens, but not as a lot the way or how vicious that bend in the knee was. I think he'll be fine.
Vegas says I like Timmons in 94 too.
Yeah, he looked great. I love Lawrence Timmons.
Great, another number 94. He was one of my dude. The guy was a tackling machine.
Dude, we talk about one of the most underrated. Mm-hmm. Again, one of those guys buried behind Ray Lewis.
Yeah,
and then there are a couple other inside backers too that everyone talked about, but Ferrier and Timmons got overlooked because of Ray Lewis.
Corey says I'm done with jerseys. That's a curse for me personally, but I am really happy with our defense. I saw a lot of players holding back against Carolina.
Corey, you need to go buy a Cam Hayward jersey, brother.
I'm gonna guys. I didn't do this, but it's just kind of something I came across. If you go to the Steelers shop, Steelers merchandise, there's actually used Steelers gear. You could buy like old Steelers practice jerseys and things like this. If you want to try something a little different, I thought about maybe getting on Mike and getting an older. I mean, there's select players, and the prices vary obviously if you're gonna get somebody who's really good or vice versa, Mike. But like there's all kind of things like you could buy their gloves and their face masks and their face shields. Again, for people that are kind of through with buying jerseys, I was thinking about grabbing one of those practice jerseys, Mike. Again, they're worn or practice worn jerseys. I seen a couple of Deontay Johnson's on it. For some reason he's really expensive. I figured he would be cheap, but there are I mean there's a bunch of guys. If you're a Steeler fan, you'd certainly recognize it. And again, it's something different. I considered seriously going in there and buying a practice jersey to wear on game days sometimes, just for something different, break it up a little bit. Just a thought. Austin says, Corey, same. I thought about Pickens last year. You know what? I'm going to talk about them here in just a second. Jen says she can't stand Eli. Wes, what's up, dude? Always great seeing Wes Hatchett on the board as well. Welcome back, sir. And then also Vegas says the Jets jumped us to draft Revis that year. straight right here
Yep.
across the river, Darrell Reeves. I'm gonna get into something related to that also, guys. Let's talk about this. The starters, guys, on our team last year. Listen to this. Of course, we started out 4-2. We ended up being 10-3, and then we lose the last 5 games, ultimately with the playoffs. Mike, this was what we were working with. Justin Fields to start the season was your quarterback. Najee Harris was your starting running back. George Pickens was your starting wide receiver, and Minka Fitzpatrick was an All-Pro in your Steelers secondary. Mike, this team is entirely different if you think about it this year.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, you have a lot of pieces in place, but those are some very key positions. Come on, if you're a quarterback, your starting running back, your wide receiver 1, and your all-pro safety, Mike, we're coming in again. So a lot of people that's making these predictions based off of what happened last year, it's a totally kind of same different team in a way. You know what I mean, Mike? Those were our starters this time last year.
Yeah.
Justin Fields, Harris, Pickens, Minka,
All gone.
all gone.
What was it, like something like more or less like over half of our starters have been replaced.
Half of
It's
our
just-
starters from last season are replaced. Offense, defense, everything.
Yeah. Wild.
That is wild, guys. Beanie Bishop reports being pissed. And see, I'm doing the things with my fingers, Mike, the air quotes. He's reporting, apparently he was pissed after being released by the Steelers last week, Mike, determined to show growth on the practice squad. Mike, does Beanie Bishop ever become a significant part of this defense for Pittsburgh? Because I do have one thing to say before you answer that. He did have 4 interceptions last year.
Yeah. I think he can. There's something there with him. It's just, I don't think he's not going to be a starting outside corner. So he's just, into that nickel spot. So that's something like he's going to have to work on to be one of the best, to where, we don't have to go out every year and try and find someone better than him. He's got to lock that down, kind of the way like Mike Hilton did for a long ass time here before he went to Cincinnati. That's the kind of career Beanie's going to have to shoot for. And he, like you said, he's going to have to work for it. I don't know if Beanie came in with a big head, or not like a big head, but maybe thinking, hey, I got my spot down. I'm cool.
No,
I
only
slip
led
a little here.
I only basically led the team in interceptions. Maybe I should have. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But led the team in interceptions. But if someone comes in and plays a whole hell of a lot better than you, and is locking up their guy in practice, and you're letting
What's he
people
got to
go,
get
and
about
you're
9 interceptions?
Hey.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Let me grab a couple messages on the board. Corey says, I'd buy retired players jersey, but no current players. Jen says, did you see the Angry Run shirt on Good Morning Football? Looked pretty cool. Maybe Dude Wipes will still enter the runs next year.
Either them or Imodium. Run into that one.
Yeah. Tortilla says, I think Beanie is the first DB off the practice squad. If someone goes down, Trice is on it. What's going on with Trice? What did I see about him yesterday? Nothing, huh? No.
Nothing. No, he's still getting back in. He's out the first 4 games.
Yeah. That's what I saw. So I think there's a chance Trice goes back on IR late in the year and Beanie comes in if no one signs him. Corey says, if Beanie isn't on our active roster, one of our rivals will pick him up. 4 interceptions in his rookie season is nothing to sneeze at. A much better DC than TA can develop that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe there's something I don't know. Maybe he didn't do something fundamentally well or something. But again, you have 4 interceptions on the team, and I think Jackson had led the team with 5 or 6 or whatever it was. But as a rookie to come in with 4 picks, I think should be somewhat impressive to coaches. But again, maybe there has to be something we don't know with that situation. Also, Mike, just kind of going back to Jaylen Warren. Of course, he did get the big contract, or he got his extension yesterday. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. He is the first running back to be extended by the Pittsburgh Steelers since Willie Parker, Mike.
Yeah.
First running back to be extended by the Steelers since Willie Parker.
And both undrafted players as well, that's wild.
We do good with undrafted. Look at James Harrison. Look at we've had luck with undrafted players over the years.
Donnie Shell back in the day.
But throw that beanie in the practice squad. What's he? his cousin Willie. Who's cousin Willie? Vegas says on the board is cousin Willie. Let me ask you this, guys. I asked you about Aaron Rodgers yesterday. Is he going to have a poor, average, or great game coming out this one Sunday in the opener against the Jets? And we all kind of gave our opinions on that. Let me ask you this: what about the Steelers in general? Guys, on the board, don't hesitate to throw your answers up and your thoughts. The Steelers, not Aaron Rodgers, but the Steelers. Do they go out and play poorly this weekend? Do they play average, or will they play great? We're going to go out there and just run these guys, or are we going to go out there and be in a heart attack game that we become so familiar with the Steeler fans? Or do we go and maybe lose? Boy, would that set the Steeler Nation on fire, Mike. What do you think? And also on the board as well, guys, throw your opinions up there as well. Do you think that the Steelers, from everything that you've seen, the preparation camp, offseason mini camp, everything that we know, does this Steeler team come out flat and play terrible? Do they come out and play an average game? That was good. We take good and bad. Or do they come out and really blow our socks off? Mike, what's your take?
I'm going to say average. I think the defense comes out firing. I think the offense, with the offensive line still gelling, comes out a little slow and picks it up as the game goes on. Like I think Aaron Rodgers will pick it up as the game goes on. So that's why I'm going with average. I think the defense will be top-notch, ready to go. The offense will be just a little slow behind. But I think the offense still puts up points. I think it's going to take a little while. Like a diesel engine, get that little get it going. Get the engines a-purring.
All right. Again, throw some opinions on the board. I'm anxious to hear what you think. How do you think our team's going to come out this week? Are they going to come out flat? Are they going to come out good with some good, some bad? Or are they going to look good? And we're going to be like, yeah, here we go, baby. Again, throw some answers up, and we'll touch on that as well. Okay, Vegas says Warren's cousin, Jalen Warren. Willie Warren. I don't know. Truth is saying extending Jalen Warren says a lot about what the Steelers think of Caleb Johnson.
I don't think it does. They've been a two-back tandem since Lev Bell left.
Well, I'm going to tell you, it played a role. As did the things with deciding on what's going on with Cam. There's things going on in drafting Harmon. They put all these things into, and they really do. They put all these things into consideration because again, there's a lot of money on the line going to a lot of different people, and I'm sure it played some kind of role. I don't know if the role was big, but it played a role. Absolutely. Austin says, so in other words, stop drafting running backs. Yeah.
Pick him up in free agency, baby.
Corey says it would have to be his footwork, Ryan. Maybe the way he breaks off the ball, or the way he sets his feet at the line, or maybe he's just not understanding where he's supposed to be on the field. Again, I didn't see a lot of these issues last year. I thought maybe we would have heard more about them, or some shining issues would come out, and we would be saying, "Oh, well, yeah, that's definitely why Beanie is." But again, we'll continue to follow that, and 4 interceptions by a rookie, an undrafted rookie, is a good situation. I just don't unless there's something we don't know. Tortilla says this. Tortilla says, shit, it just gives more time for Johnson to develop, less wear and tear. And Warren also doesn't have a bunch of miles on him either. If Warren doesn't hit, we can put him back as a third down back. And we have Kenneth Gainwell too, guys. And a lot of people here in the media in Pittsburgh for sure are expecting better things than what people were expecting from Gainwell. I think a lot of times, Mike, the people just forget that Kenneth Gainwell is even in our backfield.
Well, yeah. It's like him and Jonnu Smith. We were talking about this, I think last week or the week before. But hey, these two guys, we keep forgetting to mention them.
Absolutely, we sure do. True says too many big heads on the Steelers, too much money, too much complaining from their old stars. Mark Malone is predicting a 38-10 Steeler win. Corey is saying 24-10. Wes says average at best, will start out slow. I mean, come on, when was the last time? Again, I kind of made a point to say, Mike, it's been a very long time since we seem to not come out slow. Even on Ben-led teams, the Steelers just generally start slow. So I think that's a safe bet.
Right?
Vegas is online. I'm sorry, the O-line has to block their butts off. The Jets are going to blitz up the middle all day. And I don't have the exact quote in front of me. What was it Broderick Jones said yesterday? This year, we're going to block hard for Aaron Rodgers, and we're going to try to run the ball.
Yeah.
So you mean like what an offensive
like
lineman
every
does.
year, Broderick. I think he finally woke up in the meeting.
Protect the quarterback and run the ball. I can't imagine that this is the game plan. But
is this Broderick in the meetings just like zoning out and disassociating, then gets out in game
I
day?
can see.
Guys, are we supposed to protect this guy back here?
I can see the thought bubble above his head, and just again, what?
When I think I can't love Broderick anymore, he says something dumb like this, and it just makes me love him even more.
I hope we can see some improvement out of him, Mike. Tortilla depends on who. If Hayward plays, needs to stop the run. I'm not worried about it in the slightest about the Jets passing game, but this is our first time seeing it. We made the right adjustments on the run defense. Austin says either we come out blazing up 21-0 in the first half, or we witness some of the all-time worst offense of all time. Six straight 3-and-outs. LOL, no in between.
That's been the past 5 years. I love it.
Truth says can see Justin Fields running all over the Steelers possibly. The thing is, I just don't think they're going to let it happen. I think they're going to game plan for Justin Fields in a way that they're familiar with him. They know him. They learned a lot about him last year, and of all the guys, I hope he's not the one that could run all over us as a quarterback. Mike, again, we have a pretty good record of stopping these kind of running backs that are very athletic and like to get out of the pocket and are quick. I mean, we handle Lamar Jackson for the most part of the past 4 years very well. Matter of fact, better than anybody else in the league does.
Yeah, so that's what gives me faith is that we can do that there, and he's just he's not that accurate of a pro passer. He every once in a while he surprises you. Goes, oh, he made that play, but he's just very inconsistent with his footwork and his accuracy. So I think they're gonna game plan for what he can do in the pocket and with his legs. This is why I wish we had Herbig, someone who's a little bit more quicker on the outside that we can bring in. But I think Peyton Wilson can.
Mike, let me cut you off real quick. RB is saying on the board as of 3 minutes ago, Gabe Davis is going to Buffalo.
Yes, this is true. RB's refresh fingers working a little faster.
I got to tell you, RB is really working hard for the game ball today.
He's working hard for the game ball. I think he's working hard to get on top of my friend list. He wants to get on the Nixon list.
Once you came out with your Schindler's List the other day, and now there's a whole lot of energy, a whole lot more energy on the terrible board.
Yeah.
So there you go, guys. If you were hoping that Gabe Davis was going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler, Gabe Davis is not. He is going to Buffalo,
where he can drop more game-winning touchdowns.
We'll take it until we see him in February catching the game-winning touchdown or something.
I know, right? He flipped the script,
and we still won't have a wide receiver 2 at the time, and
Hey, Roman Wilson at that point will have 900 yards,
and the guy that drops the ball will be winning the Super Bowl. Jen
be our luck.
They're going to knock our socks off, get a big head, and lose to get a good team that we're expected to win. I almost think it's kind of big. They kind of, you know what I mean? You don't want to lose to the Jets, especially then you got Seattle, who you don't know what you're going to get with this team. They got a quarterback that just took Minnesota to a 15-2 season or whatever it was that they had, and they got some things going on in Seattle. Again, I don't want to lose to the Jets. I don't think we're going to. But I think that could certainly put us behind the 8 ball early, and I don't want to finish or start 0-1, especially with the loss being to the Jets, a team that just generally stinks. And if you lose to the Jets, they usually throw you out of the league. So let's hope that that's not the case. Vegas says we want to play. We say we want to play more man to man, but that's hard to do versus a running quarter. It really is. It'll certainly present its own challenges, no two ways about it. And I hope we don't lose to the Jets. RB says hot take: Jonnu Smith should return kicks.
Ooh.
Oh, I got to tell you guys,
that's interesting.
I think what's interesting, and let me kind of get back into it, Mike. This is the third time. This is the third time that Arthur Smith and Jonnu are on this, in the same squad. Of course, in Atlanta, Tennessee, now Pittsburgh. I've never seen a guy have that much kind of dedication to a player that the two guys follow each other around the league like that. He has to really know something about Jonnu, because again, that's a lot of being on the same team. Why wouldn't you ever say to yourself, well, let's look at new talent. Let's see what these guys have and work with it. No, he continues to pull these people through all these teams. There's a couple guys actually, but Jonnu Smith being the biggest name, Mike. So again, Jonnu Smith and Arthur Smith.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see what the hell they pull out of their hat with this offense.
He was really productive with him in Tennessee. Atlanta, I can't remember what they did, but hopefully, they can be really productive here. And Johnny was very fucking productive last year too, being the number 3 option. So I hope anything over 800 yards and 6 touchdowns with Jonnu Smith, I will take.
Well, depends how he looks. Like Beanie, you can have really good numbers, Mike, but if you don't,
if you don't look good, you don't look good on film.
Let's see. I wouldn't mind. Again, I think that they kind of have an idea what they're going to do with special teams, but Corey says Gainwell could line up in the slot if need be as a screen option. If in the open field he's dangerous. Yeah, I mean the guy just was on a Super Bowl winning team, so I guess that stands for something. Tortilla says I think Rodgers will come out throwing. Then we can run. Plus, I'm betting Rodgers is going to want to throw all over the Jets and get the last laugh. You think the Jets get any interceptions? You think the Jets pick Aaron Rodgers off this weekend?
I think so.
I do too. It just feels like it should.
It's going to happen. It's going to be the first offensive play of the game. We're going to get the ball first, and we're going to throw a pick 6. It just has that feeling.
RB says back to the predictions. He's saying the Steelers will win 19-6 due to Tomlin's refusal to step on necks. John says the plan is to play hard. Maria Harlow on the board. I want to say welcome to you. Maria says, hello, my headphones aren't working right now. You can chat instead. By the way, which game do you stream the most? Welcome to the board. Tortilla says, Wilson and Queen better be all over the field. Watt, too. I'm most worried about Breece Hall.
I'm more worried about the other running back, the Braylon Allen, the big bruiser.
I'm not worried about the Jets. I'm going to be honest. I can't. It's going to be a football game. It's the NFL. You got to take them serious. But as a fan, I have a hard time doing that with the Jets. I just do. Because even when they were good, they couldn't beat us. They're the Jets. Corey says RB is already more accurate than Kabuli in his reporting. He's a natural. That's why you got the game ball yesterday. He's definitely more accurate than Kabuli. True says last year Tom reverted to his cover 2 days with Tampa. Very conservative defense, no blitzing, no aggression. Hope he changes. Austin says last name nepotism.
Took me a second. That was a slow burn.
Corey says I wish Arthur Smith had the same energy with King Henry. That would have been nice. And that's one thing people always forget, too, when they're talking about, Arthur Smith. He's a really good head coach in Atlanta, but they forget to mention that he had King Henry when he was in Tennessee, which, again, is a game changer. Let's see what else. Also, Corey says at Austin, his dad owns FedEx. So his dad passed away earlier this year, actually. He did own FedEx, but his dad just passed, I think, in the last couple months, if I'm not mistaken. RB says truth last year. Try at least 5. And then Vegas says, I heard someone say we throw 17 slants all last season. 17 slants all last season.
Damn, I bet we do more than that in the first 5 games.
That's a 1 slant per game average.
Mm-hmm.
RB says Hall is the most overrated player in the league now because of the fantasy nerds have no concept of real football is much different than fantasy. Again, they're the Jets. There's not much that really scares me about this team, Mike. Talking about Jaylen Warren real quick before we do move on, does anybody want to hear the conversation that he had when being interviewed and he started talking about how good at spelling he was?
I can't wait to hear this.
All right. So
anytime anyone brags with their good speller, I'm all for it.
Since he did sign the extension yesterday, I will give you this little nugget of fun. He was asked, lastly, what should we know about you that has nothing to do with football? Jaylen Warren responds, I'm a good speller. The interviewer asks, wait, that's what we should know about you? Like spelling, bee spelling? Jaylen Warren replies, no, not spelling bees. I just started telling people that a couple months ago. I just realized that about myself, that I was a good speller, and I wanted to start telling people that. the interviewer says, "Oh, okay. I really hope you're not sitting at home at nights doing spelling bees. What else do you have?" Jalen says, "No, it won't come to that. I play video games, Call of Duty, stuff like that, but I'm pretty basic. I like to hang out with my family and try to get out of my comfort zone." Then was asked, "How so? What are some things you'd like to do?" Jalen Warren says this: "Anything but the ocean. I'll try anything else. I don't want to do the ocean. Who knows what's under there? Piranhas, sharks, you have no idea what's in there." Just kind of a candid side interview that I did catch with our newly extended Mike. Again, first running back since Willie Parker.
Yeah.
To be extended here in Pittsburgh. He's a good speller.
He's a good speller, which I am not. And he has a hatred of the ocean just like I do. So, Jalen, we may only be 50% compatible, but you are on top of the Vanilla Thunder friend list. You have topped Schindler's List, buddy.
He's
up there.
Made Schindler's List?
Jalen Warren has made Schindler's List.
All right.
Title.
There you go.
Working title.
All right.
For his hatred of the ocean.
I couldn't agree more. The ocean is scary. It can be. It can be. People have a lot of fun, but again, you always got to be careful out there. Tortilla says Hall is ranked very low in fantasy. Also, RB says Tortilla maybe he is, but he was only every considered gold because of fantasy. It's almost the same with the Atlanta kid. He's better than Hall, but he isn't top 3 like you're led to believe. Corey Beaver says Warren didn't want to sound like a kook for saying aliens are in the ocean. It's okay, Jay. I know they are too. I'm right there with you, Corey. I'm right there with you. Let's see what else we got here, Mike. Strength of schedule, guys. I do want to get into the strength of schedule. The Steelers have the 10th toughest schedule in the NFL this year, with their winning percentage of their opponents, Mike, being 52.6. The Giants lead the way. They have the toughest schedule with a 57.4 toughness of the schedule. The Bears and the Lions both have the same one with a 57.1. The Eagles, a 56.1, comes in number 4. The Cowboys with a 55.7 being the 5th toughest schedule in the league. Mike, then the Packers, then the Vikings, then the Commanders, then the Ravens with a 53.3, and then the Steelers with a 52.6. Behind us is the Chiefs and the Chargers. They're both tied with 52.2 toughness of their schedule. Behind them are the orange teams from Ohio, Mike, the Browns, and then the Bengals. Rounding out the first half of the toughest schedules in the league is the Broncos and then the Raiders. The second half of the list looks like this, Mike. The Rams, Texans, Buccaneers, Falcons, Dolphins, Seahawks, Buffalo, almost in the last column. As far as toughest schedules, the Jacksonville Jaguars tied with them, Mike, in the last column. This is your last 8 teams. These are the 8 weakest schedules in the NFL this year, Mike. The Colts with a 46.4, the Jets with a 46, the Cardinals, the Panthers, the Titans, the Patriots, the Saints, and the San Francisco 49ers. San Francisco 49ers have the weakest schedule in the league, Mike. 41.5% of their opponents' games were wins. Mike, toughest schedule, the Giants. Easiest schedule, the Niners. The Steelers, 10th toughest schedule overall. Any surprise? The Steelers always seem to end out somewhere right around 10 in everything that's ever out there.
Yeah.
Mike, it adds up.
It adds up. You got to figure 2 games against Baltimore, 2 games against Cincy right there. And then, we make the playoffs. So we get another, usually an out-of-conference opponent is against a playoff team. And then I think we're playing with the AFC North or NFC North this year. So 3 out of the 4 there. And like you said, it just always seems like every year we have a tough schedule. I remember the one year we were supposed to have one of the easiest schedules. I think it was 2 years ago, turned into the hardest schedule in the NFL. So the preseason, rankings of the schedule, it gives you an idea of what you're getting into, but you really don't know how tough these games are going to be till like halfway through the year. But it doesn't surprise me that we're in the top 10 hardest schedule. We're always getting boned by the long dick of the NFL.
That's what they tell me. I don't know. Again, people went on and on about the 3 games in 11 days last year. I didn't think that was why the Steelers didn't play well. I got to be honest, Mike. I think you gave them 3 weeks in between each one of them games. They were probably going to
We
lose.
were still going to get our asses.
They're going to lose to Philadelphia, Kansas City, and I just the way the season was going at that point, the Ravens as well. Like again, I it plays a role, but again, if the other teams didn't have to do the same thing, I would have more of a complaint where the Ravens and the Chiefs both did have to play that same schedule, and one went all the way to win the Super Bowl. So, also, Mike, Aaron Rodgers pulled. We're going to talk about his leadership a little bit at the top of the show. We talked about him being named as the offensive captain of this team. Some people like this, some people don't. I'm cool with it. He is the leader of your offense right now. Say what you want. And the guy is a Hall of Famer at the end of the day. He says this, Mike, he is doing so much to help this team out. He really is. He pulled Patrick Queen aside and gave him tips on how the defense can attack certain looks from offense. He's like, hey, on some of these calls, I think you could change this and change that. And he's working on everything around building you can ask for. Mike, Aaron Rodgers, again, I said this the other day. I don't want to make it sound like I'm blowing smoke up his ass, but he's certainly made all the right moves since signing with the Steelers, since making the decision to come here. I cannot say there's one thing that I am disappointed or weirded out or anything about Aaron Rodgers. Disappointed. He is what he is. You know what I mean? We know what you're getting. Is he going to be the great Aaron Rodgers that we've seen 15 years ago being on the Super Bowl? No, he's not. But the fact of the matter, Mike, he is the best option. And all these little things that he's doing well to help the team, it makes him even that much more valuable when you're matching him up or you're comparing him to other quarterbacks who it could have been, who the guy could have been that was here. Mike, this pretty much was the best option. And I got to be honest with you, I'm not upset with this point. Let's take a look at what we have, run with it. We're going to get our young quarterback. We have the draft coming here in April. We have a quarterback sitting on the shelf that we just drafted. I'm totally cool. Let's go do this, Aaron. Let's make this an emotional ride. And maybe have a nice finish at the end that could benefit all of us.
Yeah, I like what Aaron Rodgers is doing from football standpoint. I like it. Like talking to the defense about, hey, this is what I noticed that I had trouble with. How about you try it on them? That I don't remember Ben ever telling a story like that coming about from Ben. So that just shows you what kind of different level that Aaron Rodgers is at, like the way his football brain operates. And
I didn't think I would love this, but I kind of love this in a way. You know what I mean?
He's just being a team guy and looking out for the team and not really talking to the media about anything. Really, he's been on McAfee once or twice since he signed, so it's just all about football right now. And let's keep it that way and keep giving the defense pointers, keep riding Roman Wilson to get anything out of it to maximize his potential. This is what you want from a leader on the team. And like some of our supposed leaders on the team need to take a look at this guy to see what a real leader is. Like you got to work with everyone and find the best and hold people accountable.
No complaints from me. Again, I thought I was going to hate this experience.
Me too.
I thought this was going to be a long, drawn-out process, and we were just going to be. And again, don't get me wrong, we still have 17 games, 18 weeks.
We got a long way to go, brother.
Ahead of us. But so far, so good. And I didn't think I would make it this long without hating him, and here I am. Guys, it is what it is this year, and again, it's probably better than what it's been for the past few years. So let's see what we have. We made a bunch of other decent pickups in the offseason. I think pretty great pickups in a couple of situations, Mike. But again, I don't hate this. I'm surprised. I'm surprising myself that I don't hate this. Here we are, guys, just 4 days away from going in, or 5 days away from going into this opener, Mike. Everything is fine and dandy with the Steelers, with the exception of a few things here and there. Of course, Cam, but our quarterback situation, which is obviously a big situation on every team. Quarterback, I'm just fine at this point.
Me too. Talk to me again in like week 7 or 8.
Absolutely.
see where I'm at. But no, I thought I would be faking the enthusiasm for Aaron Rodgers at this point, or like trolling just everyone about how bad it's going and laughing. But no, so far, no, it hasn't given me any opportunity to play it like a jackass. This is he's done everything that you would ask of a quarterback coming in to do.
Mike back on the board. Corey says Warren didn't want to sound like a kook for. Okay, we did get that with the
Yeah, we got
aliens.
that one. Yep.
RB says fantasy nerds think 20 points a game off 59 yards rushing and 5 catches for 45 yards and a touch is something special. Wes Hatchett says the only thing that scares me in this game is us. We should easily beat the Jets, but we talking about Tomlin and him wanting to muck every game up. That's an argument too. Vegas says he was doomed to be fat. He was doomed to be fat as fuck. His name is a mix of kebab and jelly.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Vegas is making
Oh my God.
he's making some way here, Mike, to try to get this game ball for the day.
Oh man.
Also, RV says this Tyreek Hill is another one. Fantasy people think he's God. Film study guys like myself knows he's a guy who drops 10 passes a year and can run a screen, drag and go, and that's it. I was never really sold on Tyreek Hill. I just wasn't. Even when he was in Kansas City, he just seemed very one-trick pony to me. Yes, when he gets his trick, it's big, but almost like Barry Sanders in a way. He ran a lot of balls where a lot of rushes where he got stopped in the backfield and at the line. But you know what? He always had that 177-yard run in a game that really made him something special. A lot of people, he falls in that category for me. And luckily for Barry Sanders, it worked out in his favor because, believe me, a lot of times, Mike, he was not even getting out of the backfield. He was so small, undersized. But it's kind of falls into that same pattern with Tyreek Hill for me.
Like Tyreek Hill, me and my buddy been at work. We've been talking about this for like a few seasons now. Is like once his speed goes, what's he going to do?
Right.
Because you can just watch him. He's not the greatest route runner in the world. You know,
and he's got the size of. I mean, come on. He can't be any taller than Russell Wilson was, and Russell Wilson was a midget. So
now if he had like the route running ability, not it's going to sound crazy, but of like AB, but AB was probably the greatest at it. But like he would be able to like lose your speed and you can still run routes. You can still be a productive receiver in the NFL. But if you're a guy who just relies on speed and you don't have the footwork to be guys off the line, you're going to be diddly poo once that speed goes.
Kebab and jelly. Vegas says, will Aaron lead the team to a first drive touchdown? If you're asking about this week, I don't know, but I think he will. Yeah. I think we'll have some first drive touchdowns this year at some point. Again, I don't want to hyper focus on this week because he may not, especially being the first game of the year. And again, he didn't play in any preseason game, so there might be that period of time, to get acclimated. Tortilla says Mike T, horrible record on short weeks. Yeah. Jen says Aaron Rodgers is the man of the people. I think that was supposed to be barf. I'm thinking just because I know Jen is not a big fan. Let's see. Also, RB says if we go 12-5 and win a playoff game and Aaron wants to come back, is anyone against it? You know what?
It's how he plays.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. I'm not against it because I don't see Will Howard or the drafted quarterback being the starter next year regardless.
Yeah.
So if he has a good year and he does decide to come back, and I think we've already all decided that Mason Rudolph's not going to be the future of the Steelers. I think ultimately if we go 12-5, win a playoff game, I don't have a problem with Aaron Rodgers coming back next year, especially with all the intangibles that we talk about that he brings to the table, not just the fact that he steps under center and plays the position. He does a lot of leadership things very well. And again, I'm cool with that. If he could help stabilize the offense and the team overall, and then the younger guys that could be behind him as far as quarterbacks could continue to develop and not be injured during preseason and all these other things, issues that we dealt with. So to answer the question in short, no, I'm not against Aaron Rodgers coming back. Had that be the situation, if we go 2-15, we'll have a whole different conversation. But Mike, everything goes the way that RB says at this point, I think that I'll be cool with it.
Yeah, me too.
And again, there's hasn't been any issues arrived either, Mike. You know what I mean? Like there could be things that happen during the season that, oh my God, what's up with this guy? And but so far at this point, fingers crossed, knock on wood, all that kind of fun stuff. It's been good with Aaron, and at this point, I think that I would be okay with that.
Yeah, me too. If he plays average and the rest of the offense has to adjust and the defense has to carry him, no. But if he's playing the way that we want him to play, fuck yeah, bring him back. Cut Cam, give him Cam's money.
Give him Cam's money. Give it to Cam, then take it back off of Cam and give it there.
So you didn't notice this clause in your contract that says if we win a playoff game, all your money goes to Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, because he overachieved like you did last year. So we're going to give him the money, and you didn't overachieve this year. Yeah, you know, the way he's playing the game, that's how it would play out, you know.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that.
Mark Malone says A-Rod is going to ram it home next week. Mikey says the A-Rod is going to ram it home next Sunday.
The fucking rod is going to be rammed down their throat.
Jamal, my man, what's going on, dude?
What up, Jamal?
Says, my bad, my brothers. I've missed the whole show. Sitting here at work, just saying what's up. Always great seeing you, dude. Hope your day at work is going good. Because we were just another day closer, Jamal. 5 days away. 5 days away from right now.
Florida wake up.
We will be in the first quarter. 5 days from right now, we will be in the first quarter. So there you go. Hope that made your day better. But thank you, my man. As always great seeing you on the board. A couple other things, Mike, before we do start round and getting to the third base, Mike. I'm going to give you the names of the 12 teams in the NFL. That's right, 12. 12 out of 32 teams have never won a Super Bowl. Guys on the board, the same thing with you as well. Gals on the board, throw up your prediction. Mike, I'm going to give you the 12 teams that have never won a Super Bowl. Tell me which one of these teams is most likely to win the Super Bowl before the rest. Here we go. The Titans, the Panthers, the Vikings, the Chargers, the Falcons, the Bengals, the Lions, the Bills, the Cardinals, the Browns, the Jaguars, and the Texans. I'm like, those are the 12 teams that never hoisted the Vince Lombardi Trophy in the NFL. I'll help you out, and I'll tell you them again, but I'm looking for who do you think? And again, I want the Steelers to win, but if any of these teams could win this year, I'm like, who's going to be the first winless Super Bowl team to win the Lombardi? Let me give them to you again. Tennessee, Carolina, Minnesota, the LA Chargers, Atlanta, Cincinnati, Detroit, Buffalo, Arizona, Cleveland, Jacksonville, Houston. Mike, I think there's a couple teams on there that could certainly be you could throw in, I see 4 teams that I think could legitimately have their name thrown in the hat this year with Buffalo, Detroit, the Chargers, and the Vikings. I literally think that these 4 would be one of those teams. I could be wrong, but who do you like, Mike? Who would be the first team out of this dozen that would be able to get that first Super Bowl win? And I gotta be honest with you. I would like any of these teams matched up against one another because they're all offers.
Yeah.
With the exception of Detroit never being there, Buffalo being 0 for 4, Minnesota 0 for 4, and San Diego 0 and 1. I think that those teams playing one another would be an awesome Super Bowl, kind of break up the monotony a little bit. But who do you think? Who do you like in this group of teams?
Like Vikings and Lions are intriguing, but I don't trust either quarterback.
Okay.
I don't trust Jared Goff in the playoffs. JJ McCarthy's basically a rookie. I don't trust him. Chargers, they have a defense that can do it.
I'm seeing a lot of Chargers on the board.
But can Herbert do it? Can he break that curse of not being able, like that big time performer in the big situation? Buffalo, this might be their worst team in their window, but I think out of the teams that listed here, they had the best chance of doing it. Where I think they have an offense that could, if they match up against Philly, can match Philly's defense. Just because, I'm just not counting out Josh Allen. So right now, I'm going to have to go with the Bills.
I like the 4. I like the 4 that I mentioned, and I would love to see that being the final 4, just so I would know a team that's never won it before was going to win the Super Bowl. If it was Buffalo versus the Bills versus the Chargers, and then the Lions versus the Vikings in the playoffs, I would be cool with that to see who goes on to win the Super Bowl. But Mike,
those are the 4. But like I said, with the Lions and the Vikings, I just don't trust the quarterback situation a whole hell of a lot. Chargers, Herbert, I like Herbert, but in the big game situation, I don't know. And Buffalo, I think it's their weakest team in the past 5 years, but I think if there's a team that can make it through the AFC and win one out of the teams that haven't won one recently, I think it could be them. I
think Buffalo would be my pick, Mike, because Josh Allen. Josh Allen is a Ben Roethlisberger kind of guy to me. He's going to have a Ben Roethlisberger kind of career. And guess what? Ben Roethlisberger eventually found ways to win championships. Even, like, you got to remember the 05 team that went on to win the Super Bowl in 06. They had a or what was it? Was that one of the 2 years they had like the worst offensive line in the league? And
it was that year, that Seattle year.
So, see, that's what I'm saying. The Buffalo Bills might have the worst team in their window, but again, with a guy like Josh Allen, again he's kind of a Ben quarterback to me. And again, with the worst offensive line in the league, he managed to go to the Super Bowl, get a win. I think this guy eventually gets his win. But as far as my pick would go on this list, I would have to say Buffalo. Let's get some of the other names on the list, and I did get some other messages that we're going to go back to once I get these names. Mike Richard, what's up, Richard? Always great seeing you on the board. Good afternoon, sir. Richard is saying the Chargers. Theo Isaacs, what's up? Always great seeing you as well. He says Super Bowl run, Steelers 14-2. You know what? We'll all be very happy, man. I hope that is what happens. RB says the Chargers. Austin says the Vikings or the Lions. Corey says I'm going to say the Vikings, but not this year. I think the Lions had their short run and now it's over. What a shame that would be for Detroit fans if like that was it. That was Detroit's window. Vegas says go Chargers. Go is what Arnold said.
Oh, Chargers goal.
John says Ravens have the team, but Jackson's a postseason choker. And that's a question I have too. Is he going to always be a postseason choker? Is he going to go through his life, his whole career being a choker? Or is he going to be able to get it done? Again, Terry Bradshaw is picking the Baltimore Ravens to win the Super Bowl this year. Not a move that I care for.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, you know what, today's his 77th birthday, so I'm not even going to give him a whole bunch of shit. But I think that the Ravens are certainly they're certainly a contender. No two ways about it.
And a lot of people don't like to admit it, but go back and look at like Peyton Manning before he won that first Super Bowl was the same way, would find ways to lose in the Super Bowl, big time choker, put up gaudy numbers in the regular season, get into the postseason, and would choke it away.
Well, and
it's like how Lamar, until you win one, and then that label goes away.
It's not even the same case. If he would have to face Tom Brady for 14 of the 15 runs through the playoffs, I think again, Mike, there was nobody beating Tom Brady. Sporadic, isolated years where Nick Foles finds a way to beat him. This was a big part. Listen, if Tom Brady wasn't there, Ben Roethlisberger and Peyton Manning would be football gods right now if Tom Brady wasn't there to knock them down every single year. Mike, he is the GOAT, and the GOAT beat everybody. He beat them all the people that were top of the food chain. Again, Ben, Peyton, Tom Brady consistently beat these guys.
But there's years though too, like Peyton, he would be one and done in the playoffs, not even playing Brady. So it's kind of how Lamar is.
Nobody's
choking in the playoffs.
That, yeah. Vegas's Lions lost both coordinators. Vegas also says, "Who's laughing now?" O-line is what Ben asked on the podium after winning the Super Bowl.
I remember that.
And he also says the Lions' ineptitude made Barry Sanders and Megatron retire early. You know what? You're right. You're right. You guys remember how much Charlie Batch was on the ground when he played up in Detroit?
Yeah.
I mean, he was their starting quarterback for quite a few years up there. The guy spent his days in Detroit on his ass, on his backside. Also, Mike, so that is that. A little bit around the NFL. Johnny Manziel. Anybody see this? Johnny Manziel hates the Cleveland Browns. You thought you didn't like Johnny, but this is what he says. Johnny Manziel, former Browns quarterback, says that he hates Cleveland. He hates Cleveland so much and hopes that the Browns go winless every season. He says, quote, "I root for an 0-16 season every year in Cleveland." Just when you thought you didn't like Johnny, right? Maybe he fits in. I don't know.
You know what? I'm back. Johnny Manziel, you're almost an honorary member of Schindler's List.
Is he on Schindler's List?
He's almost an honorary. He blew his chance by partying away. Normally, I respect a brother who parties hard, but you got to get that opportunity, then you party hard. But now you want to handle the Browns, so it's kind of evening out. He might get up there.
I like it. I like it.
He's almost into the top 5 right now. Our Barley's sitting up there in the number 1 spot.
Tortilla saying sign Johnny to the practice squad. A couple other things, Mike. When Joe Flacco, when he played for Pitt as a freshman in college, Kenny was 5 years old. Kenny was 5 years old when Joe Flacco was a
Oh
freshman
my
at Pitt.
God.
Just kind of something to put things into perspective. And also here as a Steeler fan, this year at the Super Bowl marked 20 years since our Jerome Bettis hung it up. Guys, 20 years? Where the hell did that just go?
Fuck.
This
My
Super
back just
Bowl,
tightened up on that one.
when the trophy is handed over to the winner this year in the Super Bowl, that will mark 20 years since Jerome Bettis played for us.
Damn.
Yeah,
Like, where did the time go? It's some bullshit.
20 years. Also, Mike, one other note that I did want to say about the Pitt game the other day, that Des Reed, he had an 88-yard punt return. Mike, that is the longest punt return in stadium history, pro or college. Nobody at Acrisure Stadium has ever had an 88-yard punt or longer.
No
Des
shit.
Reed did that Saturday in the win over Duquesne. So good
Nice.
on him. 88 yards. Yeah, man. So also, just a round third here, Mike, before we start wrapping up and getting to the trivia question of the day and such. The Buccos are back at it today. They start a home series against the Dodgers. Game 1 of 3 tonight at 6:10. Carl Majinski is going to be facing Clayton Kershaw. Tonight, the Pirates come with a 61-77 record. Also in the Pirate notes, Mike, IKF gets claimed by Toronto from the waivers. So just another person that was an effective positive player on this team gone, taken from off the waivers from the Toronto Blue Jays. There you go. It's
a
Pirates
player given away for nothing.
Yeah. Mike, why don't you go and tell everybody about the website and we'll get into some trivia.
The 2Yinzers.com. Check it out, everyone. Get the merch store over there. We got all of our links over there. A new link over there for the 2025 NFL Pick'em. Come join the 2Yinzer League over there. I got a link for that. And Dumb Thoughts is over there. So check it out at the 2Yinzers.com.
All right, go check it out, everybody. www.the2Yinzers.com. That's www.the2Yinzers.com. A lot of great stuff over there. Go check it out. Mike, put on your thinking caps. Everybody on the board, everybody at home. Here we go. Time for question of the day. How well do you know your opponent? How well do you know your enemy? Mike, today is no different. It is a New York Jets question. Here we go. Question of the day, everybody. Name the all-time passing leader for the New York Jets. Who's the all-time passing leader? What quarterback is the all-time passing leader for the New York Jets? Take a minute to think that over. We're live 5 days a week right here, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard every day right here on YouTube. Mike, what is your thought process?
Okay, it can't be Broadway Joe. It can't be. So, let's see. Ron Jaworski was an Eagle. Randall Cunningham was an Eagle. I'm going through quarterbacks I know that were white and green. Did Vinny Testaverde?
Oh, he was a Jet.
Vinny
and the Jets. Remember that?
He's saying Chad Pennington. Tortilla's saying Mark Sanchez. Sanchez is the first one that popped in my head, but I totally forgot about Noodle Arm Pennington. But I'm going to go with my gut. I'm trusting you, Tortilla. I'm taking Mark Sanchez. Don't let me down, brother. Don't let me down.
So, Mike, you're gonna stick with Mark Sanchez.
I'm going with Mr. Butt Fumble.
Is this your final answer?
It's my final answer.
All right, I'm gonna lock you in place, Mike. You were locked in on Mark Sanchez. Guys, question of the day is this: name the all-time passing leader for the New York Jets. I do want to start off by saying that he threw for 27,000 yards and 20,057 yards and 170 touchdowns. Corey's saying either Testaverde or Pennington. Tortilla saying Mark Sanchez. RB is saying Chad Pennington. And Richard is saying Sanchez. Mike, you said Mark Sanchez. Name the all-time passing leader for the New York Jets. Vegas says I'm going to go with Broadway Joe. He was there long as fuck. Guys, the correct answer with 27,057 yards, 170 touchdowns. The all-time passing leader for the New York Jets is no one other than... You know what? I could drive to his house right now and probably, by the end of the show, be on his front porch where he grew up. Is, of course, Broadway Joe Joe Willie Namath.
Wow.
Almost 30,000 yards, 170 touchdowns, a Super Bowl win, Super Bowl MVP, a Super Bowl prediction. Grew up right across the river. Matter of fact, if I look and there weren't houses and buildings and everything else, I could probably see close to where he grew up. Mike, Broadway Joe from Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania, alum of Alabama, the passing leader of the New York Jets all time.
That is insane.
Mike, also, you want to hear something else interesting? I was going to turn this into a second part of the question, or have it later in the week. Who is the all-time rushing leader for the Jets? Curtis Martin, also from right here up at Taylor Alderdice, Mike. So the Jets' all-time passing leader and rushing leader are both from right here in our backyard. They love Western Pennsylvania guys. Mike, of course, Darrelle Revis goes there. Ty Law goes there. A lot of Pitt guys over the years goes there. I think Vanacana, all these guys, Pittsburgh guys, they love them in New York. I wish they could do them a little bit more winning up there. But like again, yes, the all-time leader for passing on the New York Jets is Joe Willie Namath. There you go.
I didn't realize he didn't retire until 78.
He played for a minute, man.
Yeah, but still, you'd figure after that amount of time, they would have found a steady quarterback in a passing era that could have shit organization.
Vegas says, Johnny, Saturday football was caught with rolled up money in a Vegas bathroom.
Hey, he would get liquored up on Thursday, do the Friday walkthrough hungover, and go upset Nick Saban, Alabama. He's a legend.
And then Corey says, new rule, anything before I was born doesn't count. So anything older than 34 years old is no longer a qualifier.
Okay, Corey, that puts you in the derpy category.
Yeah, but you know,
he tried to do the same thing. So for that, and that alone, you've ticked into number 5 on the enemy list.
You don't want to be on that list.
Got my eye on you, Corey.
Let me just got to do something here. All right. Let's see. Also, Mike on the board. Vegas said Ken O'Brien. Yeah. So there you go, guys. That was the answer. Joe Namath. Joe Namath is your all-time leading passer from the New York Jets, guys. Mike, what else do I got here before we do take off? 5 days, guys. The Jets and the Pittsburgh Steelers will be playing 5 days from right now.
We're a wake up.
It is going to be the first quarter. The first quarter usually lasts about 45 minutes. It's going to be the first quarter right now. 5 days from now, the Pittsburgh Steelers will be playing the New York Jets, Mike. So that is exciting. What else do we got? Terry Bradshaw's 77th birthday today. Also, Tommy Gunn, Mike, another quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers in the past. Happy birthday to Tommy Maddox and Terry Bradshaw. I don't generally do birthdays every day because there's a birthday every day, it seems like. And we constantly telling people happy birthday, and it's just whatever. Again, Terry Bradshaw and Tommy Gunn, Mike. Terry Bradshaw and Tommy Gunn, happy birthday to them. Ortiz says, if you don't know what you're going to do, Nick Saban doesn't either. Corey says, hold on there, Michael. I know a lot before my time, just not the things that don't matter, not Steeler related.
No. I don't know who Michael is, brother. You bumped up to number 4 on the list.
And also Vegas says Shane Gillis calling Nick Saban Alabama Joe is one of the funniest things I've ever heard. All right. Just I had to send a note over to Mike, otherwise he forgets things.
What?
But
Never.
But I also, Mike, before you do that, I need you to tell everybody about your link again with these picks. Again, if people don't, let's just say they come in and they don't know what they're looking at, or kind of guide us through this.
So I signed up over on CBS Sports. It's their it's under their fantasy football, but this is just the Pick'em League. We come in, we all join the same league, and we pick who we think is going to win every game this week. It's free to play.
Like, does
And
it have like something where you can see like what other people pick, or is it something that we're all gonna have to wait for? And
you should be able to see everyone's picks. We
Okay.
compete head to head. It has the standings and the rankings and everything. So
is it everybody, or is it just everybody that's going through our link? Like, what's
everyone who's going through our link. It's
Okay.
just I'm sending it out. It's a private thing just for members of the
Okay.
show who are here. So anyone who clicks on the link through us, you know, we'll
Go
be in
ahead
a
and
league
check it out.
together.
Mike does have it on and maybe we'll put it on the YouTube page as well, because I was thinking about this last night. Then people got to come in and get to the right part of the show and find the link and get into the board. Maybe we'll put it on the YouTube page as well, Mike. That way people could easily navigate. So there you go, guys. You can take your picks for the week every week. Maybe we'll all take picks, Mike, and see how we finish out. It won't just be a two-man race. We can see how everybody does. We can see how the board does. We can see how we do. Finch, Derpy, whoever the case may be. I think it could be a lot of fun, guys. So there you go. I just wanted to get some more details because Mike will do things and he won't give you like any details. And then, so there you go, guys. We have the picks, guys, right there. There's the link. I think Mike is going to put it up on YouTube. Take your picks for the week and we'll compare and see how everybody did come next week. And of course, Alabama Jones. Alabama Jones is what Vegas was referring to, talking about Nick Saban. Also, Mike Finch will be in later on in the week. We are going to get caught up on our death pools. We have to, of course, after the latest deaths with Ozzy and the Pope and all these people, Mike, we got to get back on our death pools. We have to. People are just dying too fast.
They're dying too fast.
And also, we are going to be doing our official picks on the show. Mike, it's either tomorrow or Thursday, depending on what day. I know Finch does have a few things going on, but we are going to get him in to get caught up on those things. Also, what else, Mike? I do want to say, if you haven't had a chance, go check out our social media pages. We are all over social media, guys. You can check us out at Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, Threads, and even TikTok, guys. Stop by, hit the follow button, and keep up with what the two dumb Yinzers are up to on a day-to-day basis. And if you haven't had a chance yet today, hit the like, hit the subscribe, or the share button down below. It helps us out a lot, and we appreciate it greatly. Mike, what do you got? What do you got, man? As we're finishing off the show for the day, we only have 5 days. 5 days from right now, we're going to be playing a meaningful football game in New York. Just a couple days, Mike. Thursday night, the NFL season kicks off. What do you got before we roll?
I really have a whole lot of nothing other than sign up with the pick'ems. See if you can beat Vanilla Thunder. Let's see if you can do that. I don't think you can because I'm that conky. Well, this is why I never cut promos. Let me
give you a little example about how conky he is. He lost to an inanimate object one year.
Just one time.
We were doing picks, and he was up against an inanimate object that he lost. And I think, didn't you lose to your 5-year-old at one point? Or was that Derpy? Somebody lost to your 5-year-old.
Derpy lost to my child.
And you lost to the inanimate object.
And
okay, I knew.
Yeah, put some respect on my name.
So
I'm not going to let my kid win.
Conky for a reason, guys.
I'm conky for a reason.
We did have yesterday. It was great to say. I do want to say welcome, and I do want to say thank you for yesterday, Mike, to the special appearance by Derpy's Aunt Peaches. It was always great talking to her. Mike, I do want to say your list, your game ball. What do you give for today? Who wins your game ball? Is anybody on any new list? What's your give me what you got before we wrap up.
Well, we know definitely Tortilla is not going, or Corey's not going to win it. He's on the list. He's number 4. I'm going with Vegas with the game ball.
Okay, going Vegas today. Vegas went strong today. Congratulations, Vegas, on the board with the MVP, the game ball of the day. And apparently you made Schindler's List. So there you go, guys.
Yes, Vegas did.
We'll be back tomorrow at our regular time to do it all over again. Again, just one day closer to the opener, guys. We'll be back tomorrow, hump day. Hope that everybody can join us then. And as I said, we do appreciate the fact that Derpy's Aunt Peaches made the special appearance on the show yesterday. So we're going to wrap up the show today with her song. She has a song right here on the show. She has been a part of the show for quite some time. So, guys, we're going to wrap it up with Derpy's Aunt Peaches, song made by the Two Dumb Yinzer AI in-house group. Before we kick that off, I do want to say thank you so much to everybody once again. We certainly appreciate each and every one of you. We truly, honestly do. We wouldn't do it without you. I want to say thank you to everybody on the board. You guys always keep things interesting here on the show, and everybody at home or in the gym or in the car, wherever you may be. Thank you to everybody. We hope everyone has a great day. Thank you, Jen, as well. And it's, as I said, Mike, we are going to leave the day with Derpy's Aunt Peach's song, guys. So everybody have a great day. Stay safe, and we'll see you in the morning. Bye-bye.
Derby's ants in the Sunday's best, hiding sins in the church bench less. Ohio style, the neon glow, secrets buried deep you'll never know. Peaches and fatty queens of the night, Cleveland steamer dreams out of sight. Under moonlight they rule the town, hiding crowds where shame won't drown. High heels clicking through the alley maze, whiskey whispers and smoky haze. Fanny laughs while Peaches spins, girls trade heels for their devil's grins. Peaches and Fanny, queens of the night, Cleveland steamer dreams out of sight. Under moonlight they rule the town, hiding crowds where shame won't drown. High heels clicking through the alley maze, whiskey whispers and smoky haze. Fanny laughs while Peaches spins, girls trade hails for their devil's grins. Peaches and Fanny, queens of the night, Cleveland steamer dreams out of sight. Out of sight. Under moonlight they rule the town, hiding crowds where shame won't drown. Their lipsticks were being gilded red, stories told in beds, no vows were said. Derby's blind pieces ain't so clean, blinded by love, can't see what's obscene. What's obscene? Peachy smirks with a sly little wink, Fanny pours another glass to drink. They own the dark, they own the sin, prayers at church, but tonight they win.